Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dragon Talk. How's it going? I'm Craig Tito. How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got to go to the Wizards offices. That's the only reason I wanted to be on the show, honestly.
And while you were here,
I
said, hey, you should be on Dragon Talk.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how most of you just like trap people by having them be like,
come to our office
come to
at
hang
2
out,
o'clock on Monday.
roll some dice on 2 o'clock on a Monday.
So this is a really nice room. And then we shove them in.
Just like close
and
the
we
door.
put some microphones on it.
Now that you're here.
Yeah, we got our guests
in this room.
It's interview time. That's right.
This is where we make people cry.
So, of course.
No, I don't want to cry.
We ask some really hard-hitting questions.
That's right.
And it's like, just really gets to the core of people.
That's what Shelley Mazanoble is known for.
I'm
We're psychology majors. We tell everyone we're theater majors, but
I was both. So
Really?
yeah, I took psychology and theater. I actually didn't finish either of those degrees because I didn't want to do the lab portion. Because the theater lab was stage stuff you had to do on the weekends, and I was like, I don't want to make sets. I'm done with this. And then the psychology lab was on nights, and I was working. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm just not finishing this degree.
You're like, I can't do either of these.
Can't do it either
they
of
do
these
go
things.
hand in hand, though, don't they?
It's really great, yeah. And I mean, it's super interesting to see where they cross over. Like, I've been watching The Good Place.
Yes.
Philosophy and theater
That is very
kids.
good. Yeah.
Just smush it together.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
We
That
actually
show's
are
great.
not.
Mm-hmm.
We were not psychology majors. I was acting.
She was lying.
I was acting.
Or lying.
I mean, is
For
there a
money.
difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was an English major and theater major. So
I
both
was a
lying.
writing and theater.
See? We all did many things and none of them very well.
Honestly, theater majors have.
And now we're
attention
playing
issues.
D&D.
For your entertainments.
It's kind of like theater and
Yeah.
psychology, and English.
And writing and English, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
it's
everything.
all combined.
We are totally working in our major.
We're making cathedrals of storytelling.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
good
So
one.
welcome, Bluejay.
Hi, Bluejay.
To you're a Seattleite now.
Yes, I am. I live here.
It's crazy.
It's been in a little over a year, and I love it so much.
Where did you come from?
From the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, I was just there.
I lived there my whole life, North Bay, and then I started coming to Seattle for conventions, and I was like, it's so pretty. There's actually weather. And then I moved here because I don't get to wear sweaters enough in San Francisco area.
It's true. And
Yeah.
it was Sweater Week last week.
Oh, yeah.
It was
you
the
celebrate?
week to turn into wearing sweaters.
I have scarves and like thick socks. I turned on my heaters. It was great.
Crank it up.
I
Crank
was
it
like,
up.
wow, it's cold. This is so wonderful. Then I turn on the heater, so it's not cold anymore.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, this is so nice. And then I was like, never mind.
And then give it like 2 months.
No,
You're
no,
like-
it's too warm in here.
You're like, this is ridiculous. Why did I move here?
It's been I've experienced the gamut of Seattle weather, so I think that if it was going to drive me away, it would have already done that.
Is that like a North Bay way of saying gamut?
Did you just? I noticed that too.
Gamut?
Gamut? Like it runs the gamut?
That is.
Is it gamut? It might have been one of those
I-
words that I've only ever read and never actually.
That happens
It's
a lot
not-
in D&D.
If it is
Yeah.
gamut, it's not anymore.
Gamut?
I want to say it the way you say
The
it.
gamut.
Gamut? Run the gamut? I don't even know how I said it anymore.
Gamut?
You're embarrassing me.
No,
Well, we
that's
can
great.
replay it.
That happens so much in Dungeons and Dragons where you're like, I've never actually said Tensor's floating disc out loud before.
How do you say tensor?
Yeah.
Tensier?
Tensier, yeah.
Who knows?
For me, it was Aragorn. Like reading Aragorn, I for years thought it was like Aragorn or something.
a lot of people got it with Hermione.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one.
Hermione.
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 It's like
What
you
did you
see it
just-
written down.
Did you say what did you-
Aragorn.
Aragorn?
Aragon.
the dragon?
It's like no.
It's Lord of the
Strider?
Rings.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what's now. I can't think of the real one. The dragon story. Thank you.
Aragon.
What did you
Aragon.
say?
Oh, with the E.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I
Aragon,
thought you were
Aragorn.
saying that, and I'm like, oh, I don't think that's right.
I've been getting it wrong my entire life. That's all I know.
You were an English major.
I mean, just read some Chaucer and then everything will be awful. And then you'll be like, what does it even matter how things are pronounced? It'll be different in 300 years.
Right. It's
Oh,
all
those be
old
new
English to me.
Kids will make up new words anyway.
Yeah. Now there's all the new lingos.
All those children.
Those kids.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting here very young. It's fine.
Kids these days.
I'll be 30 soon and then I'll be able to say kid these days more.
Oh my
Soon,
gosh, you're not
like-
30 yet?
Like 12 years?
No, like 2 years. Well, one. My birthday's soon. And then the next birthday. I'm 28. Yeah.
What's
so
that like?
Happy almost
kids these
birthday.
days. Thank you. I mean, it's weird because we've gotten to the point where there are people who are in my own like profession who are much, much younger than me, especially because there are so many relatively young people in streaming.
Yeah.
And I'll be like sitting there with someone who's like 20 years old and can't drink. And I'm like, wow, I feel old and weird. And it feels weird that like we're peers. There's no difference in between them and me because like streaming, it doesn't really matter. Like you can be really, really successful at 20 or at like 40 and there's not much difference.
Yeah.
So I'll be sitting there with someone who's my peer and be like, wait, you're 20 years old? Oh God. Oh, okay.
How do I adjust?
You were born like after the 90s happened. Like there are people who are adults
18 now, like in 2018,
who were born in 2000.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
And you've been streaming for a really long
4
time
years.
comparatively to a lot of these people. So you're like the elder stateswoman. That
I
can be
guess.
Like, I can show you all the tricks of the
elder
trade.
I can show you the world. Yeah. It's awful. Don't do this. No, I'm kidding. It's great. I love it. It's been 4 years and
4
seeing how
years.
it's changed, it's a lot.
Right.
It's so different now. Like people like Ninja, it didn't happen. Like that scale of broadcaster.
He's only gotten famous in like the last year. Like,
yeah,
really.
It's so much is changing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So 4 years ago, that was around when the Twitch Amazon deal happened, right? So that's
it was
where
before that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was probably right. They were probably still talking about it, but it wasn't announced yet. When I first started streaming, Twitch was not Amazon's little wee baby studio. And now they're like Amazon's child. It's Jeff Bezos's like newborn babe,
Yeah.
Twitch. He's like, yeah, look, this is what the cool kids are doing. Look at Twitch.
Look at this plucky startup.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
It's so young. And
Plucky.
I'm like, what is Twitch, like 10 years old, something like that?
Yeah.
Which is relatively young for a company. So,
It's true.
but yeah, 4 years of that, I have also been there. It's been crazy because I know I started from zero, like 2 viewers. I started from very, very small. And I know a lot of people have gotten into it via other groups like D&D. So they start with an audience already developed. And it's really interesting to see how that differs in terms of experience. Starting with absolutely zero audience versus starting with like someone already like knows what you do, which is really cool that people can join in on group projects like D&D shows. And they already have like that buffer of support and then kind of be like, this is kind of cool. I'm going to do more of this.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. So it's less of the like, hey, I'm just doing this on my own.
Yeah,
like, judge me. It's more like,
exactly.
hey, I'm here with my buddies. You got to judge us because we'll come at you.
Like, I'm here with my buddies, one of which has experience already.
Right.
And they already have like kind of an audience. Oh no.
It's haunted.
I just got
the little
that
girl.
book. Dragon Heist.
It's so good, isn't it?
I looked at the like table of contents and spoiled myself.
Soiled?
You're playing an-
Spoiled or
Spoiled.
Some
Because we're
people
playing
might.
we're playing Dragon Heist on Fridays, the Roll 20% crew.
Right.
And I should never have opened it. It was a bad. Adam got mad at me.
You're like, now you know everything that's gonna happen.
No, I only like I saw like spoiler alert. I saw the title of chapter 3. And I was like, okay, so I guess that's what happens in chapter 3. So and then I immediately closed the book.
That's good. You had restraint.
I guess I can look at Tomb of Annihilation now that we're done doing Tomb of Annihilation. I can go back and look at that.
See how much is differed.
But I can't look at Dragon Heist until we're done doing Dragon Heist, or else I'll spoil myself.
That makes sense.
My jam will get mad at me.
So right, you're playing on Roll 20 Presents.
Presents.
How's that been going so far?
It's great. I'm so excited. It's the last 2 adventures we've done with the ones that you guys have just come out with have been so much fun in different ways, because I started playing D&D with the Roll 20 Presents crew. Like I've been playing with that specific group minus Lauren for 2 years.
Right.
That was the first time I played a role-playing game, was with those nerds 2 years ago.
That was your first time?
My first time.
The first time you played was live?
Yes, live was the first time I ever played. Yeah. we
That's
were
going to be true for
playing,
all of the younger generations now.
That's
You're like,
it,
oh, I just
right?
started playing video games. I'll just turn on the camera.
I mean, it's so easy. Just have a camera and a computer that will run with the camera and a mic that doesn't make you want to tear your ears off and a stable internet connection. It's really easy.
That's all you need.
Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we played Adventurers League. There was I don't remember if I was ever told what the adventure was, but it was in Flan.
Yeah, okay.
That was my first character was Saris, the Wood Elf Druid. It was so funny because I used talk with animals at every opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Made my GM and do all the animal voices. I flirted with the crane. It was great.
Yeah. Was it
Cranes
reciprocal?
are sexy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously. Wood elves are like, I'm the person. Do you know the Lord of the Rings? It's like you either are a dwarf person or an elf person.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an elf person.
Yeah,
I've
I
always
think
been an elf person.
You're in a safe place
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think all of us are elf people
Definitely.
deep down.
Don't tell the dwarf
I'm not,
people.
not even that deep
Don't
down.
tell them. Don't worry. Nobody's listening or watching
No
right now.
dwarf people
No
are
dwarf
listening. Only elf people. Maybe some tieflings. It's fine.
You're all part of the same group.
Yeah. So I started that 2 years ago, and then we did whatever that adventure in Flan was, and then we did White Plume Mountain, which was horrifying.
That's not an easy one to
It
jump
was
into.
really hard.
Yeah.
It was a totally different form of D&D because I'd started playing like play your character and do like acting things. And then White Plume Mountain is like play D&D.
Go from room to room, kill the
good at
monsters,
it.
get the magic items.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not actually good at it. I like it, but I'm not like the min-maxer.
You're like, can I speak with animals on that sword?
Yeah, I was like, I come at it from
Where's that crane?
I come at it from like the acting background,
Yeah.
the improv background, and not the like math background.
Yeah.
Where I mean, I guess that's more Pathfinder. Thank God I'm not playing Pathfinder. I would die. I've heard bad things about how much math is involved. So D&D is really much nicer.
When I played 3.5, I had to build a Excel spreadsheet to do the math for me. And that made it so much more fun because there was a lot of inebriants involved. And I was like, I can't add
Just do
these
this.
two numbers together.
I am
So sorry.
From what I have heard, I'm really glad that I didn't play 3.5. 5e is much more beginner friendly.
Yes.
Yep.
At least smaller numbers.
Yes. You know, it's a 20 plus something.
Right.
And I'm, basic math, that was what, like first grade? I can remember some of it. Subtracting is hard.
I noticed
Okay,
that
I'm not
none.
All of
that
our
bad.
phones
I noticed that
have
none of your majors
calculators.
were math or science
Well,
or
part of why
I
physics.
used to be better at math.
I never was. Part of why I became a theater major is because there were no math classes required.
That's right.
Really? None. I took up to pre-calc and then I stopped.
That was about when I stopped too. 'cause
Yeah.
I was like,
No.
I can't get much farther.
When I was a kid, poor little nerd heart, I loved math so much that there was a chart in my math teacher's classroom that showed you the professions that needed the most math, and research physicist was the one that needed the most math. And I was like, I'm going to be a research physicist. And then I got to college and I was like, I'm not going to be a research physicist.
I'm going to be a streamer.
Yeah. Actually, I never actually that
It
wasn't a
didn't
job.
exist?
That wasn't a thing. No, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to play an elf on the screen. I wanted to be
Oh,
Legolas.
Well, it's close.
That was my dream.
He was
So-
pretty much the coolest.
Can we? Because
Walking on the snow
I am an old lady in real life.
in real life.
In real life. So can we just go back to the beginning here? Like what it
I was
means
born
to
on
be
December 7th in
Okay.
1989.
A day that will live in
1989.
infamy.
I was in
Yeah.
high school. I was in high school.
Pearl Harbor Day, in case anyone knew.
That's why,
Yeah.
I was born
Nerd.
around midnight, and my grandpa made sure that it was the 7th and not the 8th because he was like, it's Pearl Harbor Day.
Why is that a good thing? Don't you?
So he wouldn't forget.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I guess it's the day that will live in infamy.
It's true.
So, sorry, the beginning of what? I got
Your
distracted.
career, like, how did you? Well, first of all, I'm assuming people know what it means to be a streamer
Since we're streaming live
since
right
we're
now.
streaming.
I would
Yes.
hope so.
But how does one become a streamer?
Well, I was working in a comic book store, and one of our regulars at the comic book store was a broadcaster. She was a streamer, and we got to be friends. And I was like, what is this? What is this thing that you do? And she was like, you want to come see and hang out with me? Because we hung out. And I was like, sure, yeah. So I went over and she was playing a scary game and I almost peed myself.
I'm getting a sense you don't like horror.
No. Oh God, I'm a weenie. I think that other people like watching me play horror, do horror, watch horror because I get really scared, and I think that they find that amusing. But I also like can't act, like I can't do things. So I've tried playing Alien Isolation. I just hid in a closet. And I was like, this is all I can do here.
Tune in for 3 hours
of me just hiding in a closet. And then you didn't go back. Anyway, yes. So she was broadcasting, and she already had like a little bit of a community. She would play like Five Nights at Freddy's and like scary games. Yeah. And I would just sit there and be like, oh my God, which was amusing because she could actually do it. And I was just like, ah.
Were you part of the stream at this point? Like you were?
Yeah, I would sit there with her. Like some of the time when we hung out, she would also be streaming.
Okay.
And it was really fun, and when it wasn't scary. She also played things that weren't scary, and I could actually enjoy myself. But it was really fun, and it was really cool to have like people there like talking with you and cheering you on. And there was a bit of the like theater kid in me that really enjoyed that. And so I was like, I wonder if my laptop can run a stream. And so I tried it on my own at home, and then like just the audience that knew me from her, like some of them came over. I had like 2 or 3 viewers when I first started. And I really enjoyed doing it. And so I kept like doing my own stream. I think the first few months from like November until, I don't know, March, I only did like 12 streams.
What were you streaming?
Don't Starve Together. There was a text adventure that I streamed because I couldn't stream that much because my PC wasn't great. I tried doing Battlefield 4 a couple of times, and it would like crash my computer because it was a little baby laptop. And then in March, I started saving up to build a new computer because I was like, this is actually something that I like doing and I want to do more of. So I built a new computer.
You built a new computer?
I built one. Awesome. Yeah. I bought the parts, I made the parts list, and I built a computer after like never having seen the insides of a computer before.
Very impressive.
Isn't it like scarily like not as complicated as you think it's going to be?
I was afraid I was doing something terribly wrong.
Oh, yes.
And then we tried to turn it on and it didn't turn on. And I was like, what's happening? And I realized I didn't connect the power supply to the motherboard. And so I was like, okay.
Try it again.
Try it again. It turned on. It was fine.
Nice.
I was like, ah. And then you spend like 3 hours doing software, which the hardware is easy. The software is hard.
Oh, that part, yeah. For me, it was just very much like, I can't believe like you just plug it in into
put
this area
Legos.
and screw it in. And you're like, oh, this is actually way more simple than the standards that made it easier over time, for sure.
Yeah. And of course, you don't have to build a computer. You can just buy one. But like that was part of the adventure for me, was like learning what each part did and why I wanted it. And kind of breaking apart, like, what do I need to run this game and also stream it? Because the requirements for running a game are different than the requirements for running a game and also streaming it. Your processor has to be really good. So just learning all of that while I was getting into streaming and like what it took to stream, like learning a good mic that wouldn't pick up like what the rest of my household was saying because I was living at home at the time.
That's always I always tell people who are starting out that audio is king. Like in the video, people will forgive a subpar video image if the audio is good.
Well, and also I most of the time when I'm watching streams, I'm listening to them.
Right.
And doing other stuff. And I feel like people do that a lot too.
Yeah, multitask.
So you could almost like not have a cam at first. Like, and that's another thing is like learning what the things I wanted to invest in and what things I would maybe not as much, like investing in getting a better mic than a camera because that was more important. Or actually, when I first was streaming, I got a little webcam, the Logitech one, and then I had a headset that had a mic.
Oh, okay.
It was horrible. My first stream is still saved in my past broadcasts because like it's like jumpy. It's like a PowerPoint presentation. I was playing Diablo 3 and it was just like me moving and then stopping and then moving because my computer wasn't that good.
It's nice as an artifact. Like this is what it was back then.
This streaming
back in the day.
All the way back in 2014.
When I was still blonde back in the day.
Were you always called Bluejay back then?
Yes. Yeah, it's my initials are BJ. So Bluejay came from that. before my hair was blue. My name was Blue. Yeah.
That's the opposite of how I thought it.
You thought my hair first and then the name?
And then I was like, oh, she can never dye her hair any other color.
No, it was the name first. So, like, I could dye my hair. I'm not going to, but I could.
It works for you.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's been 2 years with the hair, 4 years with the name on Twitch, and like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years with the name just like on other forums and stuff. Yeah, but so streaming, I built the computer and I was like, okay, now I'll do it regularly, get a schedule going. I had two other jobs at the same time, and at a certain point, I was working at the comic book store and I was working for my mom. Mm-hmm. And she was like, hey, like, you're doing pretty well. I know you would probably like to have more time to devote to this thing. She's great.
I love supportive
I love my
parents.
mother. And she said, like, if you need to come back, like, you can have your job back. Like a little safety net.
Nice.
So I went full time with the knowledge that if I needed to, if it didn't work out, I could still like have a job that would support me,
right.
Which is really lucky because not everyone has that. Like their boss is just like, yeah, sure, like you could go take off a couple of months, and if it doesn't work out, just come back.
I'm sure if you told them, you're like, I'm going to do it to be a YouTube star or a streamer. Yeah, right.
They'll be like,
Okay.
Vaya con Dios.
Okay.
I'll see you never.
Yeah.
So what, so it was sometime after that when you started doing D&D streams, but what do you think about like you're starting up that people who might want to start up a D&D stream, what could they glean from your experience?
I would say that one of the big things is probably that networking and knowing people and supporting other people is really important. Because the way that I grew from like nothing to where I am now is by being a fan of other people. I feel that a lot of people try and start broadcasting with like blinders on. Like, I'm just going to do my stuff and I'm going to focus really hard on me. And I am not going to really look outside of that. And I've always found it to be really important to be like, if I'm not going to support other people, what reason do they have to support me?
Yeah.
If I'm not looking around at what other people are doing and like actually engaging with that, then one, like, I don't know what kind of content is out there, so I don't know what kind of content is in demand or what kind of content that maybe isn't present. Two, D&D and like role-playing broadcasts in general are a really like multiplayer thing. You know, you can do role-playing something by yourself probably if you wanted to just like campaign prep forever.
Right. Or I'm going to be performing these monologues from Diablo 3.
You could try and do like a role-playing a D&D stream by yourself. But you can't. Like, realistically, you can't. So you have to know people. You have to know people enough that they would want to spend that time with you, because one of the big things about tabletop shows is the recurring narrative. Like, every single week on Fridays, you can come and see what new thing is happening.
Yeah.
There are, like, one-shots, but I don't think you can make a channel on that. You know?
No,
so,
having the continuity of it, making it feel like it's a, I think I just used this analogy over the weekend, but it's kind of like a Game of Thrones meets a radio show. Like, you have to have that kind of regularity while having the freedom to, talk and improvise and just be, a normal person. But people come back because they want to know what's
going to happen.
What's going to happen next?
They grow attached to the people, and part of that is the people caring about and being attached to each other.
Yeah.
And finding that kind of like group. Like, part of it is like, hey, like, I met X broadcaster at this convention and I talked to them about something and D&D came up, and I was like, you know what? I know this person. They already have an audience. They're interested in playing a game. I play that game. I might as well ask them if they want to play it with me on my channel. Mm-hmm. And one of the big things is like, you can throw out that offer as much as you want. You can be like, hey, person I've never talked to before in my life, do you want to play this game with me? And chances are the answer is going to be no, unless you have that first part.
Yeah.
Like, I actually have supported and invested in your community, your career. I am a fan of you. And like, you know that because I've been there for like 2 years. And that kind of like networking isn't something that you can manufacture. You really like, it has to be genuine. You know,
right?
Like, I can go up to someone who is a bigger broadcaster than me, who like maybe has no good reason to like, I'm not going to benefit them with my channel. Like, I have like 100 viewers and they have 2,000. Like, it's not a business decision for them to work with me. It is for me to work with them.
Yeah.
But what will sell them on joining me and being in a D&D campaign with me is the fact that like maybe my 100-person viewership channel isn't that big, but I've also been like in their chat and active in it for 2 years. And they know that I'm asking because I want to play with them. I also think it would be a good business decision, and I don't think there's a lot of separating that. But like, it all comes down to that like connection that you get, that genuine, like, I support what you do. You've seen it, you know it. And I feel like in the tabletop community especially, like that's super important. Like, you can't come into this and be like, I'm not going to watch or support anyone else's show and expect them to watch and support yours.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that too kind of happen on the D&D channel all the time, where, you know, people that I've noticed showing up in the chat, I'm like, oh, let's work with them more. You know, they... I mean, there's countless examples, but one of the best ones I think is Lauren Urban for Oboe Crazy.
Yeah.
She was just in the chat all the time, and I'm like, all right, we want to be like,
I see her everywhere.
Integrate, be a part of it now, and help us moderate and be that voice of what's happening in the community. And that wouldn't have happened if she wasn't like, hey, I'm here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you're present and you're a fan of the thing, and people notice that. They notice that you genuinely give a shit about what's happening.
Yeah. So D&D streamers going to different communities, watching other stuff, saying hi,
a lot of, like,
being a big part of it.
starring on other people's streams too.
I've been working really hard at that too. At like, hey, Chris Perkins, hi, how are you? Yeah, it would be great if, and just like doing that. Like,
did that work? I don't.
Not yet. Chris, hit me up.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
We're gonna have to ambush him later. But TwitchCon is coming up.
Yeah.
This weekend. Pretty exciting.
It's so exciting. I'm a little nervous because of what I'm doing at TwitchCon.
What are we allowed to talk about? What you're doing?
It's been announced. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing.
Shelley always asks permission.
Well, good.
I'm scared of Greg.
I've seen it on Twitter, so I'm assuming it's okay to say it.
It's true. It exists in the world.
I'm gonna be a player in a game with Jeremy Crawford as a GM.
Awesome.
And like, he's like, you look at his Twitter, and he is like the 4th major rule book of D&D.
His Twitter is totally
his
that.
Twitter is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, what if I screw something up horribly? And he looks at me and he's like, that's not how that works.
Not at
He will
all.
quietly
He is the
reprimand
perfect.
you in the most articulate way.
Exactly. You'll feel like you're back in college with the way it is. But,
I'm sorry, that's not how the quadratic formula works.
He'll say, you know what? That's not the rule, but it should be.
No.
And then he'll quietly go
and change the rules.
and then it just
right there.
changes
No.
automatically.
Exactly.
I'll just tweet something like, this is how this is now.
Yes.
And then, you know, everyone at home like prints out their copy of Jeremy Crawford's Twitter.
Yeah,
And they
it's
like
just
staple it
constantly
together.
evolving.
Yeah. He's doing. He's a fantastic dungeon master. And I don't think
so
a lot of people
excited.
have been able to see him dungeon master yet. So I'm excited for 10 a.m. Pacific time
On Friday.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Who else is in this game?
Brandon Stennis. He's I am Brandon. He's in the game. I know other people are also in the game because they've been emailing me.
Are these people that you haven't met or played with
Brandon,
before?
I have. Okay. I've met and I haven't played D&D with Brandon, but I've played games with Brandon. He is a broadcaster that I've known for a while. Let's see who else. Benjamin Looms.
Yeah, so he is the composer and founder of Sirenscape.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Sirenscape.
Wait,
I say
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape.
Like weird word. You're freaking me out.
Okay, so how is it?
Siren or Siren?
I've always said Sirenscape.
Siren would be S-I, right? I always thought the Y would be like Erin.
I always thought it was just like a.
We'll have to
Now,
ask
way
I'm
of
trying to remember
spelling.
when he was here in the office, we had
What
him
did he
on.
say?
I think
they
Hillary
said
pronounces
He
Sirenscape.
said Sirenscape?
Yeah, because I feel like they would have corrected me when I said
I'll
Sirenscape
ask
over and over
him.
again.
I'll ask him. I'll be like, hey, so Greg thinks that it's pronounced.
And he's like, I was too nice. I didn't want to
correct him.
Us
He kept
Australians are
saying it
known for being nice.
over and over.
So he'll be actually performing live, giving
that's
some
gonna be
background
fun.
music
While he's playing?
while he's playing.
Oh,
He's got a bard costume. He's very excited to
That makes
show
sense
gonna
for him
be-
to be a bard.
Exactly.
Are you going to be in a costume?
No, I told you I'm really bad at crafting.
Yeah.
I want to be better. I just want to basically like shove money at someone and be like, make me something beautiful.
There's people who can do that.
Can you make me something very pretty? I'm just gonna like go on Amazon and
That's
get a
what I do.
black cloak and then be like, I'm a rogue.
Just deal with it.
So like this is what rogues wear, like just black cloaks and like you doesn't matter what's underneath because no one ever sees it. You're a shadow. You're the
You
night.
may even
That's
be
true.
able to wear
That
that
works.
again.
Yeah, black
very
black
versatile.
cloaks are extremely versatile.
Totally.
Black is in.
Especially
I hear.
here in Seattle.
Yes.
Right, Shelley?
Yes.
Black is in.
Yeah.
You're blending right in with all the
Oh, yeah. I always try not to wear black on Mondays. Forgot.
Virgo.
I mean, it's October, so
yeah,
Yeah.
you get a
black
pass.
is.
And I am a witch.
So there you go.
It was extremely
After I
foggy
went
this morning.
to Salem, Massachusetts earlier. I've been
Earlier
indoctrinated.
today.
Yeah. So I'm a
I
broomstick.
just got some witch's brew.
You can go really fast when you're a witch.
I gotta like sign up for that. Where's the like
I
blood
can- I will-
ledger?
I can get that for you.
Like okay, sounds
You can
good.
be part of my coven.
Awesome.
So anyway,
also
your
joining that game
yes.
is Mika Burton, who I'm really excited to meet. I haven't met her.
Speaking of her, I
face to
think she
face.
has the like broom of flying as I think
That's
she
right.
actually is a witch.
What?
For this character for her game, she has a broom
Oh,
of flying.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that should be
Spoiler
exciting.
alert. I'm
Spoiler.
so sorry. Mika, don't hate me.
Have you met Mika before?
No.
I haven't either, so I'm very excited.
So her first experience with me is that I spoiled part of her. I'm so sorry.
She was in Destiny and Doom here on the channel. Actually, Dungeon Master by Lauren Urban last
nice.
year.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
but there was a Skype in show, so I don't think she's ever been in the office before. So I'm excited to meet her. And then James Wyatt is the final member.
Stop it.
Yeah, who has played with Jeremy a bunch of times in their home game.
Seriously?
yeah.
James is going to be there?
James is going to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I get to meet this cool person.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
You'll love him.
I don't know anything more than his name is James.
It's a pretty cool name,
yeah.
right? He
I mean,
used to
really.
be on the D&D team, wrote tons of material in the 3.5 era, so okay that you missed
good.
it. But he's been on Magic team, and so he was instrumental in making the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica book.
That's awesome. I just so one of the things when I was a wee baby nerd, I was like, I'm a little nerdy, but I will never cross this one line, and that line is playing Magic. You're extra nerdy if you play Magic, except for like
I almost just spit my coffee.
I mean, shit, that's the line.
No.
It's like you either are a WoW subscriber or you play Magic, and those are the lines.
What if you're both?
I mean, then you're really nerdy.
And you play D&D and you host a D&D podcast.
Then you're really
Then your
nerdy.
name is Greg, too.
That's
No.
me.
No, but Magic the Gathering Arena just came out, and
So good.
Adam's been playing it, and I was like, this art's really pretty and it doesn't look too complicated. I started playing like 2 days ago.
You're in.
Uh-oh.
You've crossed the Rubicon there. You're like full
I'm a
nerd.
big nerd.
Yeah.
Before I was nerd like lowercase n, and now the n is capital.
Break down those barriers.
Pretty soon the e will also be capital. We'll just like,
You're like Northeast Erd.
no, I'll move to Boston, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Northeastern.
I don't know. I make dumb jokes. So, have you been to TwitchCon before?
Yeah, I've been to every TwitchCon.
I have never been to a TwitchCon, so tell me all the things I need to
What
know.
do we expect here? I'm not going, but
there are a bunch of nerds.
I'm still supporting you in your...
Thank you for that.
What can we expect from Greg?
One of the coolest things about TwitchCon, as opposed to other conventions that I'm sure you've been to one of them, there's many in Seattle,
Yes.
is that there are so many fans of broadcasters there as opposed to just fans of video games
Oh,
or fans of D&D shows.
so like a VidCon type of thing where it's like everybody's just there.
I
streamers.
find that people go to TwitchCon more to see the people than they do to see the games.
Oh, okay,
in
cool.
my experience, obviously, like because it's such a young convention, it's changing every year. Like there's a lot of D&D content on the TwitchCon roster
Yeah.
that wasn't there in the last 2 years, which I'm really excited about because tabletop is like I love it, and the bigger it gets, the happier I am.
Nice.
I would say that I've been hearing from a lot more video game publishers than I have at past TwitchCons. They were kind of like testing out the waters to see whether or not it was a good thing to do. And I think everyone's been like, yeah, let's do this thing. Let's get on board with TwitchCon.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you never know when something new comes along. It's like, is this going to work out? Is this not going to work out? Like, we've already marketed our convention. We've already like allocated our convention budget. Yeah. So
I've heard that a lot. As someone who tried to do a small convention in the nerddom, I hear that a lot, especially from people at Wizards.
Don't point. Why are you pointing?
Because it was Shelly. She was one of my back when I was trying to do a small convention in North Carolina. I was like, "Hey, can we get?" I
remember.
It was just silly.
But now you're here.
But now I'm here, and I can be like, "No, sorry, we allocated our budget already."
Now do you believe me?
I do.
There's actually, So I feel like 3 years. I think 3 years in. Is it 3 years? TwitchCon?
For TwitchCon? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think 3 years. I think I've been to 2 before this.
Okay.
Just time, it passes.
We're bad.
It's weird like that.
Yeah, I would say that it's probably gonna get more like PAXs. With like video game publishers and larger companies like that. But I would say that I would hope that it still stays like broadcaster and community focused like I've seen in the past. I love the panels at TwitchCon more than panels at any other convention I've been to because I feel like being in the career I'm in, there's so much valuable stuff to glean from those people. I know.
It's like a trade show, like for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like every single panel is like something I want to learn.
It feels like it's like I don't know anything about TwitchCon other than what I'm learning from you guys going to it. But I thought it was like I didn't like. Are you talking like video game publishers might exhibit there, like have a booth there?
Yeah.
Okay. And that happens.
Yeah.
Because I always just pictured it like for the people by the people who are on Twitch and like with the panels and watching the games and stuff.
It's a really big part of it, but also video games are a really big part of Twitch.
Yeah.
The site wouldn't be the same if there wasn't that connection, the video gaming, tabletop gaming, and the community that builds up around the games that people play. And so I feel like I've at least gotten emails from several different publishers that are like, we're going to be at TwitchCon, come see our game.
Because they want you to stream their game.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. It's a good opportunity to get like a preview of the thing, to like talk one-on-one with people who are actually there. It's always so different to like get a cold email and to have someone come up to you.
Yeah.
Even if you've as much experience with either person, like I'm much more likely to be receptive when someone's like, hey, in person, like this game right here that we have art for that you can see is really cool. And I'd like to talk to you about it versus like, here, open this attachment on this email to see the art for our game. I'm just like, delete. It happens.
Good to know.
But like
communications manager, good to know.
In person, it's so much easier to reach out to people.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to form connections.
Even just when you're talking about other D&D community members reaching out to each other that way. It's the same is true. And the networking abilities at places like TwitchCon and PAX are built for not just streamers to get to know each other, although that's like a big part of it. It's how do you interact with the business part of it.
Exactly. And I feel like I've been pretty lucky in that I'm really good at doing that. Not that many people are. There's a big portion of the video gaming audience that grew up playing video games because of like a social anxiety or like just it's easier to talk to people when there's that separation through voice comms.
Yeah.
I did theater. So like I have a ability to talk to people that really helped me out, I think, in growing my like business and like my audience and just being like, hey, like out of nowhere, I don't know you at all. Let me just email Greg and be like, hey, Greg. So you don't know me, but I want to be on your show.
Well, and there is like, I wouldn't necessarily call myself an extrovert, but there is that like a bit of like, oh, you just have to get past the barrier of, oh, I don't want to bother someone. You're like, well, all right. Then you're like, I'm not bothering someone. I'm just talking to them.
Right.
But I'm that type of person who will talk to people all day at a convention like that, and then I can't go to any social events after that.
You're
really.
done.
Yeah, I'm like, my brain has to check out because it's very hard to do that for 24 hours, let alone 8 hours.
I mean, it's definitely changed for me over the years, like my ability to just be like, hey, you don't know me, but I'm just going to talk to you.
Right.
Versus now I'm like, well, these are my friends, so I'm going to hang out with them because I don't get to see them that often. And like sometimes I'll be like, oh, new person, like, hey, what's up? I don't know you, but
you can turn it on for a little bit.
Yeah. But most of the time now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, but I just want to geek out with my friends that I like. And it gets kind of hard. I can understand like someone coming into it brand new, trying to make those relationships and being like confronted with like, hey, here's a bunch of people that obviously like are really engaged with trying to spend time together that they don't ordinarily get to spend together. And like, I feel like I'm intruding on them. And that's hard.
It can be hard.
Because conventions, it's a lot of people traveling. So a lot of the time, like these are people who are like really getting to spend the only time they get to spend together in person. And it can be hard to be like, I'm trying to make friends, but also I don't want to mess with your like vibe that you got going on there.
It's a real big tightrope to kind of walk, right?
Yeah, which I think like the same thing like you were saying, doing the like, let's see if I can like network like during the convention when it's work time.
Yeah.
And then afterward being like, all right, now it's chill time.
It's social time now.
Now I'm just gonna like hang out with the people I know. I know that there are a lot of broadcaster communities who like the fans of a broadcaster because they all have that like connecting thing. We'll hang out together.
Right, like a meetup or something like that.
Yeah, without the broadcaster even present though. Like Ann Munition, her community is really good at that.
Yeah.
I played Secret Hitler with them.
Oh, cool.
They do a lot of fun stuff. And just like being able to take advantage of the fact that there are all these people that are all interested in the same things as you are in the same place at the same time, which doesn't happen super often. That's what conventions are about, is like, here are all these people that I know are interested in the same things as me because they're all here. And finding the ones that like you can be like, oh my gosh, you watched that D&D show? I also watched that D&D show. Do you want to talk about that D&D show?
I never get to talk to anybody in my real life about,
in my real life, it's
what
just
Strix is doing with
DS
and all that. Yeah, right.
What is Strix doing?
There's a lot of shipping.
Knows, man.
I don't know.
I heard that Chris brought on Hadil to play like a therapist or something, and I was like, oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Talk him through it. Talk him through it. It's the only way.
An actual in-game, in-character therapy. It's so good.
I know.
Oh my god.
And I can't wait for the Dice Camera Action live show at Twitch on the main stage.
Holly showed me her costume.
Is it going to be good?
It's going to be beautiful.
Nice.
I'm very excited. She said I have a couple more things to do, and I'm just like, but it already looks so good. Because they said they're doing like a ball outfit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right? Because I don't have enough time to follow the actual plot line. But I guess they've all been like dressing up and going to a ball or something.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And Holly, unlike us, she is crafty.
She is very good at crafty. I told her that we need to go shop.
Her jam.
I told her I need to go shopping. I'm like, Holly, show me where you
Take
get all
me to
your witch
Michael's.
stuff.
She makes it all. She finds the trash
so
and puts it
good.
together. It's like...
So I'm going to get the assistance of a true and actual... I mean, it's just witchy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's October.
I'm not like a craft witch, though. I'm like,
You're just like a magic witch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Magic witch.
Like a cauldron stirring.
Do you have a cauldron?
Witch. Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Totally.
Who doesn't?
I mean,
she's
you
always
don't.
stirring the pot. Always.
Have to. That eye of newt's not going to dissolve itself.
Right. So the Waffle Crew is going into a party 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, October 28th.
Hopefully we'll be there.
Nice.
I want to watch. I want to see all their costumes. Anna's, I'm sure, will also be great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She's also very crafty. I'm so jealous.
They've got crazy guests too. They've got WWE superstar Xavier Woods. I have to say it.
WWE
You have to say it. It's part of it.
TM.
I'm so excited to meet him. Felicia Day, Malik
I love
Forte, Vivid Vivka. We have 4 guests. I don't think they've ever had 4
are they all going to
guests.
be dressed in ball gowns?
All dressed in
my
costume.
God.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to tell you, the props for this are
Who's
exquisite.
doing all that?
I love ball gowns.
I don't want to say.
Someone
it.
has to have an actual ball. Can someone have a real ball? I would go to that. I would go to there.
Those, I feel like those happen in LA all the time.
Can we
and
do
every once in a while,
for the next stream?
I
Okay,
see
but
Satine
Seattle
Phoenix
is
is like,
better.
oh, I was just at these parties. And I'm like, what? How did that happen?
Maybe
I
that's
don't
just
know.
what they call parties in LA.
Yes, right.
A ball.
It's just every time. It was like 3 of us in my living room. It was a ball.
In
Hey,
Seattle,
gonna
it's
have a
just like
ball
we're gonna
to watch
listen
The Bachelor.
to Soundgarden with some flannels and sipping some coffee
I
from our
mean-
20-ounce D&D mugs.
Yeah, let me just like in Seattle, like you light some black candles and watch The Craft.
and you're like, Holly,
It's a ball.
this is how you get your ideas, Holly, isn't it? I know it.
Yeah, no, but I definitely I was so jealous that I missed the stream of Mini Eyes
Oh, I know.
because it
Me
looked
too.
so cool.
We had a lot of fun. We wanted to basically just make what would it be like if
I
you
just
walked
wanna
into
hang
the
out
streets
in
of Waterdeep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just we just jinxed a little bit there,
We did a
so
little
you
bit.
owe me a Coke.
I owe you some
now.
coffee.
Cheers. It's water. I have water. They gave me this beautiful mug and they filled it with water.
Gotta stay hydrated.
It's very important. It's true.
For me, I just need the coffee to stay up as fast as I can.
Yeah,
to talk
Greg,
as fast as I
Greg
can.
Tito has to like get those interjections in really quick. So the coffee is super important.
It's true.
No.
Yeah, I know. I wish you could have been there. It would have been tons of fun.
Next one.
Next one.
Next one. Can you not do it in LA? Seattle's so beautiful and nice.
I know.
And I live here.
It would be way more convenient.
For
Look
you
at
two.
that. Look
Yep.
at that. Yeah. Nodding.
That's judgy face right there. You're like,
Judgy
Yeah.
witch face.
Yeah.
I'm the judgy witch.
See, that lasts longer than October.
Yes.
Yes.
that's right. Palm's putting a face on your face as we speak,
No.
I'm sure.
Word has it that the studio is haunted. I didn't want to tell you that because I know you're scared of things.
It's not Eden.
My coven
Yes.
coming to get me. Eden.
Ingrid, perhaps.
I like Eden.
Yeah.
Eden's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no
I
Janet.
mean, see, what we have to do is we have to get what is it called? A Ouija board?
yeah.
Hasbro makes that, so we're good
Is
to
that
go.
true?
Yeah, that's right.
I was like nerpsing and I didn't even know it.
Yeah,
I
you
was-
like the
I'm
Good
synergies.
product placement.
I didn't know, but like it's like it's
Required
because
of all
this,
of our guests.
This like instinctively, like when you have a spirit, you like have to get the like thing out
Yeah.
and put your hands on
Did you
it.
ever use a Ouija board?
I feel like once, and there was a lot of giggling. And like, did you do that? No, you did that. You moved it. No, I didn't. I swear I didn't move it. You did. Like that was, yeah.
There's a lot of that.
I feel like if your teenagerhood did not include at one point like manipulating the Ouija
I never
board so that it
manipulated
spelled
it.
out. You didn't?
Never.
Well, but you're a
And it
witch.
moved. I guess I didn't have
So the
to.
spirits were moving through you.
Just like, this is so boring.
Can I have a large latte? I'm not manipulating it. What are you talking about?
They didn't even have
Not your
lattes back
friend.
then, no, when you were a kid.
No.
I mean, they still
I didn't even
have
have coffee back when I
lattes.
was a kid.
Back before the Ethiopian shepherd
Back before.
Called-
saw
Aldi.
his goat,
Discovered.
coffee. I was actually Googling that the other day. Like, how did coffee get discovered? Some like myth about a guy and his goats.
Yeah. I did a short film called The Barista. That was like the barista as like a short as a
Are you
like superhero kind of. He was like, I have the perfect
you-
coffee for you.
Did you really do that?
We really did that.
Where?
Here
in
No,
Seattle?
we shot it in Brooklyn in
Oh.
2004, I think.
Can you put this up on your social?
Yeah,
media?
Oh,
Where is
it's
it?
around somewhere.
out there?
Yeah. I don't know. I should get it up there on the YouTubes
Oh
at
my
some
God,
point.
please.
But we did all this research about where did coffee come from,
Where
and
did
we did
coffee
like,
come
and then
from?
we actually had Caldy comes to the guide, gives him like some sage advice, by the end of it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But that's how I know.
So that's how you knew that you were supposed to be in Seattle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which I didn't even know there was like this crazy coffee culture here until I started coming for PAX.
I
And
think it's something about the weather.
yeah.
I would say like warm, delicious beverages on a cool, rainy afternoon. It just fits.
And then I thought it was like the logging community too, is that they drive really far,
So they get tired.
so they get tired,
So
and
they
so they
need
would
coffee.
be. That's why there's all those stands on the side of the road, is because
I've
they could
seen
just drive
those.
up and get the stand.
There's one. So I drive to Vancouver fairly often.
Oh, right.
And there's a bunch of those. And one of them is called like Foxy Lady.
Oh, yeah. Let's say you got to be careful.
And they sell like a Red Bull slush.
Ooh.
Oh, it's that I won't even get it. But like those signs at the coffee things
Were enough to get you hyper.
I was like, I see that and I'm having a heart attack.
Do they still have the bikini barista ones?
I don't know. Probably.
Were you the one
I
that
don't
accidentally
drive up
went to
to
one with your
them.
kids?
No.
Oh,
I think they do have those. I think that's a thing.
I've seen the sign. I've never actually been
Which
to
is
one of them.
weird because you'd think that would be more of an LA thing.
Right.
Because it's hot down there.
Right.
But no, up in the like frozen wilderness. Frozen. I'm so sorry. I'm from California. Frozen wilderness.
It's like at least 53 degrees
It's true.
in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Bikini baristas, I
Yeah.
guess.
Anna and Elsa, they're just there.
What was the other guy who had the hot spring? Like the hot spring guy in Frozen?
Oh,
Also-
right. The Swedish guy.
That guy. Yeah. He's
No,
also
Sven.
there.
Sven.
No,
he was
Sven's the reindeer.
Sven is the reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the other guy.
The other guy. I don't know
Yeah.
what his name is, but he's also there selling coffee
That's
in a
true.
bikini. 100%.
I'd be all in.
each their
I'd be all in.
This is what like I'm getting fought. This is my next D&D game that I run. There's going to be a bikini barista stop on the way from like, I don't know, Waterdeep to wherever else there is.
Wherever the next story is.
Yeah.
You never know. So what's the character that you're playing in the Waterdeep story?
Oh goodness. Her name is Makaria Rada. She is a half-elf grave cleric of Merkel. She's really goth. She's a goth teenager.
Isn't Merkel the god of death?
Yes, he was before Kalimvor.
Right.
I was looking up because my last character, also a cleric. I have a thing for clerics. I love clerics.
Oh, that's
Clerics
good.
and elves.
We need more
yeah.
clerics.
My last character was a lawful good Tempest cleric. And I was like, he's such a good boy. I loved him so much. But I want to play someone who's like on the other side of the necromantic cleric. Because he was very much like, no, dead should stay dead. And I wanted to be like, what about if I make an undead army? What about that? So I looked for Forgotten Realms gods who were into undead armies, and Merkel is definitely into undead armies. So I also rolled my stats, which was a horrible idea. I got 4 8s.
Oh.
And I got 4 8s and 2 15s. That was my rolled stats.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, that would be good as a hand of poker. Not so much in D&D.
It's a boat.
So before I named her, I was just like, she'll probably die in like episode 2 and I don't even care. And then I named her and I was like, I love her, my precious baby.
And you will never take her away from me.
And you can't have her. As soon as you put a name on it, then it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
I need it. So like,
what was her name again?
Makaria Rada.
Makaria Rada.
Yes, I did some Googling for like gods of death.
Smashed them all
And
together.
I smashed them together into a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Thank you.
Does she wear black?
Yes, all black, everything, every day.
Nice.
She's a very
You can reuse your black cloak.
yes, just
There you go.
black cloak. She is very young. She is very drunk all the time.
Oh.
Because I recently started taking antidepressants, so I can't drink.
So you can change.
So my
Shameless plug.
character is like drunk constantly. It's how I get out my woes.
I could
That makes
method
sense.
act
You know.
that character.
Yes. So
One of
she's-
Shelley's recent character was Drunky Two Shoes.
was that the name? Your actual name?
Yeah. She was a tabaxi. She had a brother named Daryl.
It's true.
There's a lot of tension in the studio.
We were littermates
Daryl,
in
we were
the
littermates.
Tabaxi
all of a
littermates.
sudden.
And then we started a new game, and I decided to bring back Drunky. Hello. And he was not Daryl.
It's true.
He chose something different.
Daryl perished, we believe.
Maybe.
In
Makaria killed him in a bar.
Yes.
Oh, don't. Drunky really thinks he's still out there.
No, he's totally dead. I'm sorry.
He might come back
Maybe.
Yeah.
Come back from
got
the
9
dead.
from the dead.
Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 9 lives. This might be his 10th life.
I learned
a zombie.
animate dead at 5th level, so
Something to shoot for.
it'll be fine.
All right.
That's honestly my main goal with this character. Get to 5th level, have undead servants all the time. That's all I
That's
want.
cool.
That's all I want.
You like, do the dishes.
Like, I don't know. I feel like many D&D clerics are all about like, you have all these necromantic spells, but you're supposed to be like helping people. I mean, I'm sure there's like evil campaigns, but I haven't up to this point really been in one of them. So I'm all like, but you know, we have this turn undead for a reason. And Makaria is very much my vehicle for like, but what about if I had a bunch of zombies all the time? And how would like NPCs be like, you have a bunch of dead people? I'm really excited.
Is she good? Is she a good
No.
character? Oh.
No.
So you don't even have to worry about being like, oh, but these are good zombies.
No, they're not.
Okay, good.
No. At one point, we were in the yawning portal, and I tried to steal a drink very badly because I have 4 8s.
Right.
It's not my fault. I rolled bad. You know,
DNA.
It's my stats are just that my stats.
You were just rolled that way.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it.
We're doing a parody song. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm inspired. Okay, moving on.
It'll be a lady. It'll be like a Lady Gaga song.
Gaga.
That's how you say it, right?
That's how you say it.
I've only read Lady Gaga.
I can't even.
Gaga. Oh my god.
That was great. That was a
That
great
was good.
callback. Thank
right.
you. Bringing
That's
it
right.
full circle.
All right. Well, I feel like that's the ending point.
Okay.
That's it. We're gonna leave it on that.
That's
Top
it.
that.
You know,
Sweet. Well, I'm excited about TwitchCon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really fun to be
I'm
in San
excited.
Jose.
Yes, I'm excited for my rogue. Like precious. I haven't named them yet.
Okay.
Which
So I'm not as attached yet, but all of my characters are my precious babies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for the moment where I can heroically sacrifice myself. 2 hours, heroic sacrifice. We'll see if it goes there.
That's what one shots are made for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One shots are made for like dying in the best way possible.
Exactly.
The coolest way.
And I can't wait for you to play with Jeremy Crawford. It's going to
so
be
excited.
fantastic. I think his dungeon mastering style is just I don't know. It's one of my favorites. So I can't wait.
I look forward to it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How can people watch some of your stuff online?
Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/Bluejay. You can find me on Twitter at Bluejay_712. You can find every role-playing thing I've ever done on my portfolio at bluejay.tv/portfolio. And you can find me on twitch.tv/DND on Fridays. Actually, we're doing our show on Wednesday this week because of TwitchCon.
That's right.
So Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Ooh.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Coffee it up.
The things I do for love.
That's why it's coffee. It's perfect. You got to drink a lot of
Coffee,
it.
D&D, Wednesdays.
Nice.
This Wednesday.
With Angela Merkel. No.
Macaria Rada.
Macaria Rada.
Angela Merkel is my best friend that I murdered when I was a child now.
And the Prime Minister of Germany. But,
Sure.
yeah, also the god of death in the
Evidently.
Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. It's the
They're all
ties
intertwined.
It's the weaving. The thread has been woven. I don't know.
We will unravel it one
It
day.
got weird.
But not here on this podcast.
No.
We never get to unravel anything. Well, thanks for coming in. We'll have you on again, I'm sure.
Oh, awesome.
It'll be
Thanks
lots
for
of fun.
having me.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Well, that was really ominous. You're like, good luck.
Good luck. She's stirring her eye of newt.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Those of you watching us on Twitch, we will take a short break here and be back to record some lore you should know with Mr. Chris Perkins. And maybe you can go accost him. He might be just
I will.
outside that door.
Ambush him.
We'll be back with another interview with Shelley at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. We're going to talk to Robert Wardaw, who has been on the podcast before. I believe he had a 34-year-long D&D campaign, but now it's 36 years. And so there's some updates. Can't wait to find out more. Bye. We'll be back.